it's Melly. So I'm about to do my Disney college program phone interview, and I just thought I would show you a little bit of the prep that's going to go into it, where I'm going to film it, and then after the interview I'll do a more in-depth what questions did they ask me and all of that. So first I'm going to show you where I'm going to do the interview. So I'm going to be doing the interview in my bedroom. So this is my closet right here. This is the door. But I have my chair here. I have a little table with all my stuff, and I'm going to be doing it in front of the mirror. I'm going to be doing it in front of the mirror because I want to mimic being an interview where I need to make eye contact, and also I think that if I do it in front of the mirror, my expressions will be larger and I'll sound happier. I'm also doing it with my lucky Mickey ears in the back, and so I'll come over here. I'll also show you what I'm wearing. So for my interview, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, I'm wearing this skirt with tights because I wanted to mimic a real interview where I would need to be dressed up, but I'm also going to be wearing this comfy sweater just so I can feel a little bit more comfortable. And also my lucky mini ears, again for good luck. And then I have my little BB-8 keychain right there. So, and then I also, for good luck, have these special, very vintage Disneyland. Sorry, should have thought of that before I started filming this. These very antique Disneyland tickets, and I'm just gonna leave those there for good luck. So on my table here I have some tea, some water, and then I have my notes of questions, and then I have my application. And I have this chair here, but I haven't quite decided yet whether I'm gonna be sitting to give the interview or whether I'm gonna stand to give it. I'm thinking about standing simply because I think I will sound a little bit more professional if I'm standing. So this is the setup. So it is now 9:15. My interview is at 9:45, so I guess now we wait, and I will check back in after the interview to tell you how it went. Thank you, bye. So, I just finished the interview. It was exactly 20 minutes. My interviewer didn't really ask me that many questions. I thought it would be a lot more questions from what I was researching online, watching all the vlogs. It didn't end up being that many questions, so just hang tight and I will sit down and I will go over all the questions with you, what I had on my notes and all of that. So just hang tight. I will go through it with you. Hey everybody, so as I said, I just finished my interview. I think it went pretty well. I feel pretty good about it. My interviewer was so sweet. She was so nice and she made me feel very relaxed. But as I mentioned, it felt a little short. It finished about at 17 minutes, and then the last 3 minutes we spent answering my questions. And as I said, when I was looking online and researching, I felt like a lot of the people I was watching got asked more questions and I didn't. So I don't know if that was a good thing because maybe they already had a good understanding of what role they wanted me for, or maybe it was a bad thing. But I don't know. Either way, I'm going to tell you what questions I was asked. So the first 5 to 10 minutes of the interview was mostly verifying that the information on my application was correct. So she asked me which period I was applying for, whether if it was the fall 2018 or the fall advantage, and then what park I preferred, whether it was in California or in Florida. So it was just verifying stuff like that. And then she asked me why I wanted to do the Disney College program, and I'll pull up my answer for you because these were my notes, and that was the first question I had written down and prepared. So I mentioned 3 parts as to why I wanted to do the Disney College program. The first being the courses. I talked about how the courses offered at Disney during the Disney College program are very unique. They're not classes I'll be able to really take elsewhere. They're very specific to the Disney College program, and that was one of the reasons. The second reason was for the relationships that I'll build. So I talked about how diverse the cast members at Disney are and how that's important to me, that I get to meet not just different college students, but just different people from all over the country and all over the world, and really take what I learned from them into my life. And then also for relationships, I talked about networking and how I thought the opportunity to be a part of the Disney College program would allow me to really network with people in my field that I would like to go into, to really build up some people for my career. And the third thing I talked about were the roles themselves. And I talked about how how the roles are not like jobs that I could get around here in my college, how they're very unique to Disney. They offer really great guest interaction, and so that's really what I talked about as far as that question. So then the next part of the interview, she kind of went through my list of, on my applications. It's a good thing I had the application printed out, which I recommend. Print out your application, because she went through my application with me and went through each individual role that I had expressed interest in, and was like, okay, you expressed moderate interest in custodial, moderate interest in blah, blah, blah. And so we went step by step, and then so she never asked what my top 3 to 5 roles were. When I was researching, it felt like everybody was pretty much getting asked, like, what are your top roles that you're looking forward to? But she didn't. She just kept repeating, you know, like, I just want you to know we're considering you for all of the roles you expressed interest in. So I tried to, like, work the ones I was most excited about, like, into the interview. So when we got to those, which for me, they were the Bippity Boppity Boutique / Pirates League, and the children's activities, because I work for a daycare, so I love children. And so those were the ones that I specifically wanted. So when we got to those in the list, I tried to, like, really emphasize, which was good, because the only jobs that she asked me about, like, specific questions, was the Bippity Boppity Boutique, the children's activities, and food. She asked me if I was comfortable handling food. Which I am, because my mom owns a confections business, so I've done that before. But all the other roles, she was just like, oh, you expressed interest. Do you still express interest? So we went through the roles, and then she asked, now that I've researched the roles, was there any that I knew I wanted to cross off, cancel, get rid of? And I didn't think so. And then, so besides that, I was reading elsewhere that sometimes they'll ask you, like, what type of pace work you prefer, you know, whether you prefer working indoors and outdoors. But she didn't really ask that question. She just said, oh, I'd like to warn you that you might be working inside or outside, and the weather might be crazy. And she said, like, are you receptive to those conditions? And I was like, yeah, I'm receptive. So that was like one question for all of those, like, put together. So it wasn't like a preference question. It was just like, would you be okay? So again, I don't know if that's, like, a good thing. Maybe they, like, are considering me, and so they were just like, will you do it? Rather than, like, which do you prefer? But we'll see. And then the other question they asked was that on my application it said that I have lived independently before. I was in a dorm. And so they asked about, like, roommates and, like, how did I resolve any issues. So I just answered, my roommate and I, we got along pretty well. So I just talked about the few times that we had differences and how we just were upfront about them. But besides that, she didn't really ask much else. That was the whole interview. If you want to know specifically what questions she asked me about the specific roles, for the Bippity Boppity Boutique, she did ask me about if I was okay touching people's hair, which I said yes. And then she also asked me how I would handle a situation where a child was a little shy or a little tentative. So she asked me that. And then she did also ask me for children's activities. She asked how I would keep children entertained for long periods of time. And I said that in my experience working in a daycare, the best way to entertain children for long periods of time is to do several short activities versus one long one, because the children's attention spans are usually a little bit shorter. So I said doing things like little trivia, singing some songs, and really telling stories and really trying to engage the kids in the stories, help them figure out what's going to happen. So that was specifically what she asked. And then just for the food one, if I was comfortable handling food. And then the questions that I asked her. So at the end of the interview, I asked her 2 questions. The first, I asked her if she did the Disney college program, and then, like, if she didn't, how did her Disney career start? And she didn't, but she gave me this really awesome answer about working for Disney and how she grew up around Disney World, and so she was already working there when she was in college, so she didn't do the college program. So we just talked about that, and then the second question I asked was, now I'm blanking, I asked what kind of person she was looking for, or Disney was looking for a college program participant. And she said that Disney is looking for someone who's enthusiastic, who's willing to work. She told me they're looking for someone who's willing to work hard, but also play hard. And so I'm hoping that's good. So I will go through the questions that I had prepared. So besides the why Disney College Program, I also prepared for what can you offer the Disney College Program. And I said work ethic, positive attitude, you know, really, really talk it up. Also, I would be prepared for repetitive tasks. She didn't exactly ask me the question of like, how do you handle or manage doing a repeated task over and over and over and over again? But it was part of other questions, which is kind of a couple of these, like, oh, the emergency situation one. She didn't ask me, like, how would you handle an emergency situation, but she kind of mentioned, like safety and how safety was a priority. So again, like when you're looking online and you're researching what questions they're going to ask, I would be prepared for several of them, but I also would make sure that you know that they might not ask you them directly. They might not be like, oh, do you prefer fast or slow work? Because like me, they were just like, are you receptive to the fact that you could be doing something like outside in like 100-degree heat, super fast paced, you know? So, but other than that, the interviewer was so sweet. She really made me feel more comfortable, and it was nice to know that she sounded like she was the type of person who like wanted me to succeed, which is really comforting when you're doing an interview like that. The excruciating part is here now though, because now we wait. She said, so I'm applying for a fall advantage of 2018. It is February 2nd, today. This was when my interview was. And she said I might not hear back till like end of March on whether or not I made it. So I guess we wait. I will update you guys. In the end of this video, I will say if I made it, what role did I get. So yeah, I think that's all. Comment below if you have any questions else about the interview. Again, it wasn't that long. It really wasn't. So that's a good thing. So just comment below if you have any questions. Thank you so much, guys. And if you are applying and anything, good luck. Good luck. You're going to be fine. You're going to be great. Just be calm and be yourself. I think, honestly, if you get to the phone interview, they've already kind of checked you out a little bit. Like with the web-based interview, with how long that is. So I think if you get to the phone interview, they're just trying to see like what kind of person you are and if you're quick on your feet. So I think the best thing to do is just be calm, be relaxed, and just be yourself. I think that's what they're looking for, is someone who's enthusiastic and who's confident and can go in there and just be you. So good luck, and I hope I see you all there. Bye.